Hey Charger History. Today's essential question is, what geographic features allow humans to settle in one place? Please pause this video and copy your essential question at the top of your notebook page. Last week we talked a lot about nomads who travel around and find food. Remember that throughout the Paleolithic era, our early nomadic humans walked so much that they covered the entire earth over 2 million years. Well, eventually humans decided to stop and stay in one place, like we do today. There were 4 places around the earth that people found to be perfect places to settle. These were the 4 river valleys we saw earlier this year. Remember this map? These 4 river valleys had everything humans needed. We're going to study these 4 civilizations during the first few months of this year, starting with Mesopotamia, then Egypt and the Nile, then India and the Indus River Valley, then China and the Huanghe. But what we need to know today is, what did all 4 of these places have in common? And why were they the perfect places to live? Go ahead and write your first topic, River Valley. Pause if you need more time to write. Why were river valleys the first place humans settled? Well, it all started with farming. Over time, people realized that growing their own food was safer and more secure than hunting these guys. River valleys had 4 key geographical features, most importantly, fresh water. The nearby rivers allowed humans to drink the water. They could not drink ocean water because it's salty. Have you ever tried salt water? It tastes gross, and it makes you even more thirsty. Besides drinking, the early farmers also needed fresh water to water the crops they grew. The second most important feature was fertile soil. Without fertile soil, few or no crops could grow. Fertile means rich in nutrients, the kind of nice black dirt that allows plants to grow and be healthy. That's why people put fertilizer on their gardens and grass. Soil next to rivers was fertile because of something called silt. This was fertile material left behind on land after a river flooded. So even though floods could be dangerous, they could also be really helpful when they left silt on farmland. Then there was level land, or flat land. It is easiest to grow crops on land that is flat. Lastly, temperate climate. Temperate means mild, not too hot, not too cold. That's why all of our river civilizations fall into the temperate climate zone. Go ahead and copy these details in your notes. Pause your video if you need more time. So what would happen if a place didn't have all 4 of these geographic features? Some places had really fertile soil and fresh water, plus a mild climate. But let's say they weren't flat. Well, there are ways around that. Remember that humans like to adapt or change their lifestyle to fit their environment. Humans can also just make changes to their environment. Watch this. One place that is difficult to live is on top of a mountain. We know one reason for that is that climate is colder on top of a mountain. Another reason is that it's difficult to farm on the steep sides of a mountain. But some civilizations still did figure out how to live on top of mountains. They found that living up there helped protect them from enemies, so it was worth it to find a way to stay up there. Here's how they managed to grow their food up there. This is a strategy called terrace farming. If your land is fertile but not flat, you can make it flat by creating this stair-step shape on the side of hills and mountains. This prevents water from just whooshing down the side of the hill when it rains, taking all the crops with it. Instead, the water falls gently on each terrace, making sure that every crop has flat land and enough fresh water. Pause this video and copy this detail about terrace farming. But what if your land is fertile and flat, but it's full of trees? Another adaptation early farmers used was slash and burn farming. First, the trees are cut down or slashed. Then They are allowed to dry until they can be burned. After they're burned, the land is clear. The ashes from the fire are used to help fertilize the soil for planting. Now X out of this tab and return to your playlist for step 2.